What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg Wave. I'm going to be your host today, and I will pretty much be your host for the upcoming, next time. Our main guy, Dylan, he's taking a break for a while. I'm begging you guys, don't turn off the video right now that you know Dylan's not here. I'm still going to hook you guys up. So let's jump right into it. What I'm going to talk to you guys about today is a scenario that happened to me. This was about a year and some change, that kind of affected my Uber and Lyfting pretty significantly. So what happened is I'm driving during it was a Saturday. It was 1:30 in the morning. Bar rush was about to get out. I was having a monster day too. I was super excited. I was driving these two guys home. I drove through a green light, and this dude comes flying through a red light, and not really T-bone, but he just smashed my back end. And nothing too crazy. It wasn't a bad accident. No one was hurt. He just blew a red light. So the funny thing is, he gets out and he's like, "What are you doing, man?" And I was like, "What am I doing? What are you doing?" And he's like, "I wouldn't have hit you if," I can't even remember what he said, but it was something ridiculous. I was like, "All right, man." I was like, "Here's the deal. Drive an Uber. I've got two guys in the back seat that are going to, vouch for me. You flew through a red light, bro. They saw that the light was green. I knew the light was green. It's your fault." So he was like, "Oh shoot, really?" He was actually really cool about it, really understanding. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man, da-da-da-da." So then he asked me, can we take care of this on our own, because it wasn't a bad accident. And in 99% of scenarios, you say no to that and call the cops, But I don't know. I had a feeling he was a good dude. He forgot his insurance at home, and I was like, man, I'm going to put him in a really bad case. So I was like, tell you what, yes. But I was like, I'm getting all your information right now. I'm going to call your phone right in front of you right now. I want to know that I have everything from you. And I'm going to take pictures of everything. And I was like, and I'm going to keep these, guys' contact info so that if you decide not to, I can call them, So he said, okay. He's like, trust me, I'm not going to screw you over. So, and he didn't. He was honest. Our insurance took care of it. What happened is, even though the accident wasn't my fault, since I had two people in my car with Uber, it got reported to Uber. And so then my insurance, who was Geico at the time, found out that I was ride sharing and I didn't have commercial insurance. I just had the regular insurance. So what's crazy is, at the time, I really didn't know anything would happen, because when you sign up for Uber, one of the things they tell you is, oh, be insured by us, be covered by us. Well, first of all, their insurance is garbage. They didn't do anything for me. Geico wanted to be just pretty much hands clean. Uber's insurance, I would have thought it was a bunch of homeless men sitting in a call center. It was just pathetic. So I ended up having to do everything on my own. Uber's insurance didn't do anything. I found out later Geico dropped me, and so I had to do everything, talking to his insurance carrier and basically being like, hey, this is what I demand. This is what is going to happen. The situation as a whole really screwed me over. I wasn't 25 at the time, so even though I had a rental car covered under my insurance, I was going to have to pay $50 a day to have the rental. So I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I'm going to pay $50 a day for a rental I can't even use for Uber. I was like, I'm just not going to do that. So my car was in a shop for 2 weeks. I wasn't able to work for 2 weeks. Finally get my car back, just to find out that Geico dropped me. Now, the craziest thing was, I had no idea. So I ended up driving for Uber and Lyft once I got my car back for the next 6 months. I had no idea I was only on liability insurance. This is the main reason I'm telling you guys this, because if I had gotten in an accident after that one, I would have been so screwed. So royally screwed, it would have been bad. For one, I was financing the car, so I have to have full coverage. It's pretty much legality at that point. The car company could really sue me for, everything I'm worth. have fun taking my apartment. But they could have really like screwed me over. They could have really taken me down because I signed a contract saying, hey, I'm going to have full coverage on this vehicle I'm financing. The other thing is you have to have full coverage to drive Uber and Lyft. I didn't have that either because I only had liability. But since like Geico's not going to go tell Uber, hey, just so you know, we dropped him to just liability. So they're still thinking I still have 3 or 4 months or whatever's left on my current coverage. And for 6 months, I was driving. I had no idea. And I have my payments set up to auto withdraw. And to be honest, like, and this is a bad habit, but like, I'm one of those guys where I don't check my bank account every day. Like, I have all automatic payments set up and I just let them withdraw on their own, which again is like really dumb, especially in a scenario like this, because for 6 months, I didn't realize that the price of my insurance had dropped $100 a month. I was paying like $40 a month or something for liability insurance, and that's it. And I just never checked it. Every time, I would check my bank account, I'd just be like, wow, I had more money than I thought I did. And in reality, it's because I was saving more and more money on my insurance as the months went on. Looking back at it, it's a laughing scenario, but like, this could have really hurt me. I probably would have been permanently banned from Uber for driving without full coverage. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have been that harsh, but I'm just guessing that that's what they would have done. Because again, why do they care? They're going to suspend me because I broke the rules because they've got 10 drivers signing up. It's like I always talk about. They have so many people signing up. It's not a big deal to lose me. So, yeah, for months and months and months, I was driving without full coverage. Now, I want to touch on this real quick because this is an interesting scenario. So it's a weird thing. You don't have to have commercial insurance to drive Uber and Lyft. You just have to have full coverage. Now, almost any insurance company, if you tell them you're going to be doing rideshare driving, they're not going to cover you. Or they'll want an extra $150 a month because you're on the road more than anyone. They need that assurance. So I'm not going to tell you what to do and what to not do, but I'm going to tell you what I do. What I do is I went and got new insurance and I just didn't tell them I was going to be rideshare driving. And then I uploaded it to Uber and Lyft, and guess what? They were totally okay with it. There's some, a lot of awesome carriers with auto insurance. Like, I don't really believe there's like many companies that are better than the most. I will say Progressive has personally gotten me the cheapest rate, but I think it varies. So my whole point being that you can pay for commercial insurance or you can just deal with it if the problem arises. Because like for me, I've been ride sharing for 4 years and I've been in one accident and it wasn't my fault, so even though the risk's high, if you're a good driver, if you're a safe driver, I mean, for the most part, I'm, obeying the law every time I drive, besides, the occasional time I zone out or whatever it is. But if you're a relatively good driver, you're not going to get in accidents all the time. So why pay an extra $100 or $200 a month for commercial insurance? I mean, it's expensive. I think I had a buddy he was 21, so it's going to be high anyways, but I think he told me he looked into it and it was going to be like $300 a month. Maybe that's higher than I thought, but I don't know. My point being, it's really not worth it. Like, it really isn't, so I'm not going to tell you guys to like break the rules. I'm not going to tell you to lie to your insurance, but personally I do, and I don't see a reason not to do it, So that's what I got for you guys. I mainly just wanted to tell you that because, like, if you are in an accident, that is the very first thing you have to check, is to make sure liability, you weren't dropped to just liability. The other important thing, this was like one of the biggest things I wanted to say, is that if you do get in an accident in the future and you have the Uber app on, but you don't have passengers in your car, turn the app off right away and don't tell anyone you're driving Uber, because then it will never get reported back to your insurance and yours won't change. It was different for me. I had 2 guys in my car. It had to be reported. But if it doesn't have to, don't. If you don't have people in your car, turn it off. And if you're close to their home or something, ask them like, hey, here's what I would go through It's not the biggest deal, but would you mind walking home so that I can say no one was in the car? And if they're like not cool with it, well, don't, push it. But, odds are they're not going to want to hang around and report the accident shit to the cop. Odds are they're going to want to go home. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We got a lot more content coming out for you guys. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you all soon.